welcome back to TheSaraiAshari TV, and what you're about to see is a recap of the first TheSaraiAshari Live. I'm so excited that I got a chance to make this happen for the month, so you guys are going to get a chance to meet my friend Amber and Michelle, who are also in the SI School of Newhouse of Public Communications with me. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about fashion, beauty, and bossing up. So let's learn a little something, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay guys, hey everybody, welcome to TheSaraiAshari Live, the first one for the month, so I'm really excited about it. So we're gonna get started, but first, let my girls introduce themselves.
I'm Amber.
I'm Michelle. And your social media?
My social media is @__ Amazing Grace with 1G.
And mine is @Miss MISS Michelle MICHELE_.
Okay, and then we're just chilling. We're about to talk about topics of fashion, beauty, and bossing up, and then at the very end we'll take whatever questions you guys have. So if you guys have some questions, go ahead and shoot it out there towards the very end. And we're gonna be not too long because we got the Oscars coming up, so this will be a little pre-game for you guys. So get your wine ready. I got from Walmart. It's some wine from New York State. Thanks, wine from New York State. That's at Walmart. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about fashion news. So the big thing that's been going on right now is certain brands like Gucci and Prada. They've been coming out with certain items that have been disrespectful to the Black community, such as Gucci came out with an outfit, a sweater that came halfway up, and it was black, and it looked like a replica of something of a blackface. And for those who don't know why blackface is painful to the Black community is because mainly people used to do blackface, and especially in movies, and it was like a gorilla-like face. It was basically making fun and clowning the Black community with big lips and that type of thing. So there was a lot of pushback towards Gucci for that, and Dapper Dan ended up getting together with Gucci's CEO to talk about diversity initiatives and what they can do to make things better. And a lot of people like T.I., for example, came out and said, well, we should boycott Gucci. And so my question is, and the thing we're going to talk about for a little bit is, should we ban these brands that are coming out with items that show clearly there's a lack of diversity in their on their creative teams, or should we give them more heat in saying like, hey, you guys need to have more people of color, more people with knowledge on certain topics on your team so you can avoid things like this in the future. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Should we ban or should we keep them around and give them heat? So what should we do?
So I think, first of all, I'm getting my master's in advertising, and the reason that I'm getting my master's in advertising is because things like this happen way too often in the beauty industry and a lot of industries that create messaging and content about how Black people grow up and think about themselves. And I think that, one, when you think about these major brands like Prada and Gucci and Burberry and all of them, the majority of their clientele is not the Black community. Yeah. So creating a large boycott against them, yes, they're gonna lose some sales, but it's not gonna be enough for them to be like, okay, like, we really need something, we need to do something about it. I think the best way for us to fight back is, for one, we should absolutely be supporting Black-owned businesses, and two, is for you all to get involved in those creation sessions and like literally what I'm doing, getting a master's, because I want to be the person sitting at the table to tell them, you can't put that out because it's offensive, or that has a history that you may not associate with because you don't have the same background as me, but it's not okay.
Well, I definitely feel the same way. I think that people should support Black-owned businesses, of course, because, you know, if we do that, then we won't have to worry about depending on Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all those other brands and getting disappointed when, you know, we're supporting people who actually are like in our shoes and understand our backgrounds. And I also think we do need more diversity on the board of all these fashion brands. I'm so happy that we have people like Rihanna like stepping out and getting into the business, but we do absolutely need more. So I think you're right talking about getting a degree, because Rihanna, she's a celebrity, so she can just hop into that industry. But if we do get the knowledge and know how to get into it, I think that will help a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I don't think boycotting is necessarily the right method of going about things. I do think we should always support Black-owned businesses, regardless of how high we think the price is or if we think they're taking too long to respond. Either way, we should still support, because when you think about it, in a Jewish community or any other community, they support each other, as we should. We should support each other, and it shouldn't be a dog eat dog. Well, I'm gonna get mine and you get yours, and it is what it is. I think we should support Black-owned businesses. I also think that it's important to have someone of color in places like Chanel and the products and the Gucci's, because when you think about it, someone like Dapper Dan would not be as big as he is without Gucci. Originally, he was taking Gucci products, I won't say legally, and making his own thing, but he was making profit until Gucci asked him to stop. But then they came together, and now he has his own thing. He's repping Harlem, like he's still being Dapper Dan, and they're not snuffing out who he is. And here he is now having a big say in what happens with Gucci next because of something like this. So we can make a lot of strides in things like Gucci, but we can also make strides with our own businesses, and we can be just as big as Gucci if we do support our Black-owned businesses. So,
well, just to piggyback on that, I also want to say everyone has to know that every business has to start somewhere. So it's not going to be perfect, or like you can expect that kind of service from someone who's just starting out. But support is just, being appreciative that someone is actually putting in work or hard work and sweat and tears into their brand.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is beauty, because we're all young, beautiful Black women, and we're also in grad school, so we're doing this twice. So we do know a thing or two about balling on a budget and skincare, and maybe the lack of maintenance of skincare. So we're just going to talk about our own experiences, and if you're watching and you're in school or just transitioning, or you're an entrepreneur and your budget and everything is going towards your business and you do not have time to maintain your face and your skin, we are here for you to base on experiences. We're not experts, but we're experts in our own personal lives. So,
so I am not very good with my skincare just because I'm super busy all of the time. And the free time that I do get, I want to sleep. So
you don't
I agree.
But honestly, I feel like I am intentional in that drinking water does amazing things for your skin. And whenever I start to see myself get a lot of breakouts and things like that, I'm very proactive and like, okay, I need to drink a little bit more water than what I'm used to, because water makes such a big difference. Yeah. When you cut out like sugary drinks and sodas and things like that, that also makes a big difference in your face. And I also try not to, I've started this new thing where I'm trying not to wear makeup as often. I used to, growing up, I wore makeup every single day. And not wearing makeup every day allows me more time to sleep and get my life together. And it gives my skin a break. When you're wearing makeup every day, your skin is not meant to be covered in makeup every single day. And when I do my makeup, I like beat my face. So like you shouldn't put that much products and chemicals and things on your face every single day. So washing your face, drinking water, wearing less makeup is definitely my go-to for how I keep my skin up.
Well, for me, it's the opposite, because I'm a broadcast and digital journalism major, so I'm constantly on camera, on TV, so I have to wear makeup or else I'm just gonna look washed out. My melanin is not gonna be as poppin'. So I just try to, like, when I'm not wearing makeup, or when I don't have to wear makeup, I try not to wear it a lot, just so I can let my skin breathe. But also I try to be cautious of what I put on my face and the ingredients in the makeup, so I can be, aware if I'm breaking out or not. As far as like skincare, I'm not really that good of it either. I just try to make sure if I wear makeup, I don't fall asleep in the makeup. That's pretty much
Oh my God.
that's like the main thing I try to worry about.
I'm so bad about that.
Yeah, it's really hard. But yeah, so I try to like get all of it in there to make sure all that makeup is out because you don't want to leave that in there like pile up and just start looking crazy.
Yeah.
And I drink a lot of water too, so yeah.
I think the main thing for me was, this is gonna sound like old guy cliche, but like literally like self-love and self-care is such a big deal.
Yeah, that's
because in undergrad, for example, like I was always like I felt weird if I didn't have eyeliner on. Like I used to be caking on eyeliner because that was my thing. I mean, I wasn't really into foundation and stuff like that. I didn't know how to use it and about it. I didn't really figure that out until my senior year when I was doing this black and gold at Third State. That's when I was like, oh, okay, I got this. I can figure this out. And then I was OD, and I was just like, every day I must put makeup on my face. And my skin was breaking out, and it really had a lot to do with self-esteem and me not liking my natural God-given face. So I was always trying to put makeup on until it took a while and trial and error and friends and God for me to realize that I need to be comfortable in my natural beauty and what God gave me. So it's okay. There's nothing wrong with beating your face. If you want to beat your face every day, do it in a way because you think it's an artistic thing, that you like your face, looking a certain way. But just make sure it's not connected to how you personally view yourself. Where you can be okay with having a makeup on and be like, I'm sick and tired of this, and go out just the same and be fine. And now I'm into this no makeup look where I'll put on a little color, and just because I like it and I think it's pretty, not because I think, I'm ugly. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But now my skincare routine, I've tried to do better because when I moved up to New York, my skin was breaking out into dry patches. I did not know what to do. I'm in a different altitude. Georgia is humid, so my skin was taking on a little bit differently than up here. So I'm trying to do better about moisturizers. I moisturize my face a lot, and coconut oil and Neutrogena has a hydration gel.
Is it the blue thing?
Yeah, I just bought it and it has been life ever since. So that's what I've been using right now. And I have this jar from Family Dollar that's supposed to be the off-brand to Noxzema, and I've had it forever. I really need to be done with it. It's really big, but I've been using that, and that's been my favorite. So yeah. All right. Okay, so one of the last things before we go to questions is we're gonna talk about bossing up, because that is the main thing, especially with my brand and that type of thing, is celebrating up and coming to the fashion beauty world, which means blood, sweat, tears. Money. You got money. Ups and downs and successes, and we always need some type of encouragement or whatever to boss up. And since we're all in grad school, we know for sure we're there with you when you have your low moments and you just don't feel like doing it anymore. You just don't care. You're trying to remind yourself why I even did this to myself in the first place. So that's the main thing we're going to talk about is highs, lows, bossing up. What did we do to encourage ourselves and get back on track?
So this is definitely something that I'm constantly dealing with every single day. Like, you can ask them, I constantly why am I getting this master's degree? Is it even worth it anymore? Like, I don't even know. I came to Syracuse, New York, and it's snowing all the time. It's cold. I literally just fell the other day because there's ice on the road. It's just so many things that are working against me, and I'm constantly I just feel like the universe doesn't want me to win. And I think that first and foremost, I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that God puts you in situations to see how far He can take you. And if you allow God to take you to that next level, He's gonna give you something way bigger than you could have ever imagined.
Yes.
And so I feel like it's a learning process, and it's definitely not easy. And there are so many times when you feel like you're alone, and you feel like you can't keep going, and you feel like you can't move forward. But I feel like that's the moment where it's you're literally right there. Just keep going. You have to surround yourself around people who are gonna love and support you, who will turn up with you, who will pray for you, who will encourage you. Like my group of friends, like them, I couldn't have even imagined them, even if I wanted to, because the way that we all love and support each other, it's crazy. Like I think that we've gotten to a point where it's like we don't even really have to communicate with each other anymore. Like we just know, like, okay, like we all need to take a break. We all need to go to dinner. Or we all need to just sit and have a night. We all just need to vent. You know, like those are important things. And the last thing that I like really, really want to stress is therapy. Therapy for Black women, for Black men, for Black people, for anyone. I don't care what kind of race you are. I don't care what you identify as. Therapy is so important. It's a space for you to get all of your energy out, whatever it is that's bothering you, by a trained professional who's not going to be biased. They know nothing about you. They're not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. And it's a safe space for you to get better. Like, going to therapy is so important, and it helps you become whoever you're intended to be, and it helps you really push in those moments where you feel like you can't keep going. Yes.
Go to the soul. Giving me conviction. Oh my God.
But for me, I'm a spiritual person too as well. That's why I love these girls. we here. So I definitely stay prayed up. I had almost every week, it seemed like. Last semester it was alright, but this semester for some reason I just feel like it's just testing me. We're almost there, and it's like every other day is just something where I'm just like, do I really want to do this? But then I think about why I'm doing it in the first place, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get to do this without this, so might as well just keep going. But definitely staying prayed up. I listen to gospel music to kind of calm me down. My anxiety is so bad. That's why, like, I'm glad you mentioned therapy, because my anxiety has been out of control with this program too. So listening to gospel definitely helps me calm my nerves and know that I can get through it. Because if you think about other stuff you've been through, you're like, oh man, I can just get through this. Like if I got through that, like I can get through this little situation.
This little small.
Right, but I just make it bigger than what it is. Another thing I do, I have a vision board. So I look at that to kind of remind me of where I want to go, you know, what path I want to take on. And because I'm a broadcast, digital journalism major, I watch interviews of people that I want to be like. So I kind of watch documentaries and see their path and what they've been through, just to like clear my mind and make me get some inspiration, because it's really hard. Like, I would just love to just go, like, you know, I just drop out. Right. So that's definitely another thing that I do. And then I go out on the weekends to kind of take a breather. It's definitely okay to take a break from your work. Like, don't feel like you have to just keep going at it every day. Like, you can definitely just go out. Don't do it for too long, but you know, like, plan it out, take a break, and then get back to it, because you can't get it done by just staring at it. It's not gonna get done. Yeah. So.
I can't say I perfected yet.
It's not perfected.
I have not perfected. I know it varies every day, whatever my regimen is. I think the main thing is to have good people around you. It is such a big deal. You can't run this race by yourself. It doesn't have to be a big circle, and sometimes it's better if your circle is small anyways. And those are the people where, especially, and make sure that your circle, you guys are all leveled in regards to goals. It's nothing worse than being in a group and you feel like you're the only one trying to do something and everybody else is not, and you're trying to express how you feel and they're just kind of like, okay, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like when they're all, you guys are all on the same level, it's a great thing because they're your venting buddies, they're your going out buddies. They all kind of have a mutual, like we're all here even without words. So I think that's a big deal, is to have a good circle around you, and that's the main thing that helps me and my family. Because when you feel low, especially when you're in a really low place, it's very hard to pull yourself out of it without some type of assistance from God and whatever means that you need, reading a book. I know what I like to do, I like to read. I like to have a lot of quiet time with God. Even if it's watching a sermon. My thing is Transformation Church. I love watching them because it puts me back in check. And even watching a clip on Sundays, because I don't always have time to actually go to church, but it gives me something where it's like, okay, Sarai, it's a restart. It reminded me what God wants for me. I always pray, like, God, this is not for me.